The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Fore!
Welcome, friends, to Golf is a Four-Letter Word, the show that gives you the inside scoop on the best public courses in New England and other golf hotspots. So whether you're a worm burner or a total ace, join us at the 19th hole while we talk all things golf. Now approaching the tee box, your hosts, Craig and Jeanine Dufton.
Well, a little change up today. We are live from the EXP Realty Soundstage, where they help you find or sell the perfect home. Welcome, everybody, to Golf is a Four-Letter Word podcast. Craig and Jeanine are in Hawaii with the family. They're on their way right now, or they're actually there, and they're there to see family, but also they're going to squeeze in some golf. So we're filling in for a couple of weeks because the show must go on. So welcome, everybody.
That's right. This is the front nine of the show, and it's brought to you by EXP Realty. Craig is an EXP agent with the experience, training, and advanced tools you need to help you find the right home, negotiate the best price, and get the professional advice that will open a new door to a new chapter of your life. Contact them at www.craigdufton.com. That's www.craigdufton.com.
So hi, everybody. I'm David Garofalo, one of the hosts filling in today. I am not a golfer.
And I'm Mr. Jonathan, and I, too, am not a golfer. But we're on the show. We were on the show last week, and we got this, right?
We got it. Show must go on. We gotta make this thing work.
With us this week is, from what I've heard, a scratch golfer. I don't know what that means.
I don't think so. But
Brendan Sheehy. What is a scratch golfer, and do you have some sort of skin problem?
I scratch a lot when I'm on the golf course. It get pretty dry out there, but I am not a scratch golfer. The scratch golfer is someone that would shoot even par every time they are out.
You're going to need to explain that to the two of them, Brendan.
We're going to need to explain that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Here we go. So
If it says three, this is a par three, you get a three.
it's yes. If it's a par three, you get a three, but there's eight. You have to get 18 of them, or you could get a bogey, which means one over par, and a birdie in the course of 18 holes.
Okay.
So what's your handicap then?
5.
So on average, you play
Five
strokes more than what the course total is.
5 strokes over par. Yes.
So what's an average par? 18 holes.
So
the average 4.
Usually there's 2, on a 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s, and the
Okay.
rest are par 4s. So
they average 4.
the USGA, who's the golf,
Yeah.
they set it up so, or you should be able to hit the hole in. If it's a par 3, you should be able to get it to the green,
Yeah.
in one and have 2 putts at it. If it's a par 4, you hit a drive.
One more.
And one more, and then you should be able to have 2 putts at it. If you do that, that's a par.
So in the whole 18 holes, you're going to do most of them except for maybe 4 or 5 that you're not going to quite make it.
Par most of them.
Yeah.
If everything goes well.
Yeah.
You might get a birdie, which means you hit it on.
So do you rank
In
yourself?
one.
I mean, are you legit that you know you're a 5?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
How do you get that number lower, other than being a better golfer? But is there an official way to lower your handicap?
play better.
That's it. It's
So
a
yeah, the
complete honor system.
USGA has a scoring system.
Yeah.
You
have to
plug
put it
in all your scores.
So
And-
from the go, if you started this 10 years ago if you were horrible, those things are still sitting there. Or does it go?
No, they actually just changed the rules this year.
All right.
So they'll base it on, it's a really complex algorithm.
Yeah.
Where they'll take a bunch of the scores from the course that day.
Oh, really?
So if it's a windy, rough day and you shoot 9 over par and the rest of the everybody else
rest of
seems
the
to be
pack-
like 2 over their normal scores, they'll adjust that.
All right.
And then they used to do it where it was every 2 weeks.
Because then everybody.
So you'd play well or something,
Yeah.
your handicap would go down.
They don't want everybody just playing on beautiful, perfect days with no wind or something, so they won't mess with their score.
So they won't. Yes.
Yeah.
So they adapt it now due to weather and in course conditions. If the greens crew made it really tough that day, they can put the tees back in one spot to make it tougher, or the pins in a tough area behind a sand trap or something you got to hit over.
Or how about if they were actually working on the course? Something's wrong. They got a bulldozer there doing something. They got to move things around, and I've seen
they
it.
They should do that in the off season.
Okay.
But that shouldn't really come into play.
Okay.
How important is it for you to have your handicap? Like, do you play specifically every single time to try to lower that?
I always play to try and lower it. Like,
I know some guys
hear
talking in the lounge, they're dogging the score so that they have a higher handicap so that they can
that's called
make more money.
Cheating.
That's called a sandbagger. So that's a term we would use as a sandbagger. That means they would, maybe I play with a guy that does it quite often, and that he'll be playing a great round, then he'll mess up the last two holes. The new USGA system, they want you putting in your scores by hole now. So they know, like, hey, the guy's a sandbagger. Or we have reverse sandbaggers too, which is really fun to play against. Those are guys that always say, they'll take a 10-foot putt and say, I would have made it. And they'll pick it up, and their handicap's lower. So they go in, they clubhouse, and they said they shot.
I would have made it after this, or don't even shoot it.
They don't even shoot it.
Oh, so it's
I had a friend that I made a
hole.
lot of money off of that would do that. Say he was 15 feet, and we were playing as teams. His partner was off the green and chipped it to, an inch. And so we'd give the partner the putt, and he'd pick up his ball and say, yep, we both made 4. And I loved it because we made so much money off of him that he would, his handicap, he'd come in and say, I'm a 12, and he really should be an 18. Those are the guys we love. The other guys.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Does this feel a little bit like an extension off of our Golf is for Dummies by Dummies episode?
A little bit.
from last
A little
week?
bit. We're learning as we go along.
Yeah, I see your eyes still glossing over. It's
Really?
fine. We'll get you guys there.
But hey, maybe there's people out there that have the same questions and don't dare ask, so they feel stupid. So we'll be the stupid one. It's okay.
Yeah.
The stupid one, the only stupid question is one not asked, right?
That's right. You got a question, and you're scared to ask it. I'm not scared to ask it. So golf is a 4-letter word. This show is supposed to be about local area golf courses, and we'll get back to that when Craig and Jeanine are back on the show. But what is your favorite local golf course? Public or private, it doesn't matter. Tell us what your favorite one is to play around here.
I'll do, favorite public one is Four Oaks.
Four Oaks.
It's in Dracut.
Okay.
I do hear you talking about that one a lot.
The course does not set up for me well at all. I like to hit the ball from right to left. I'm a righty, so that's called a draw.
Or a bad shot.
And they have a lot of shots that go, well, no, you can control it. You can control it.
Can you?
If it goes really fast.
So you like it difficult?
It doesn't set up for me, and I always play well there. A lot of the holes go from left to right on that course.
Okay.
Meaning the hole shaped. You start on the left side, and it would end
So
right of you.
I'm left-handed. I would like something like that. That's set up for left-handed people.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah?
There's righties that play right to left.
Okay.
Left to right. I just play right to left and draw.
Okay.
And my favorite one would probably be either Salem Country Club or Turner Hill in Ipswich.
And those are private.
Those are private.
So you're a member of them?
I'm not a member, but
He knows people.
I know people.
That's what it takes to go, right? You
Yeah.
have to know somebody.
You have to know someone.
And they take you as their guest.
They'd invite you as a guest.
And which has ever turned into, okay, I'm going to join. I love it here.
I've been a member at a place called Indian Ridge for 40 years.
40.
So, yeah, our
Oh, my
family
God,
joined
since
there
a little
back in
kid.
the day. Yeah.
Wow.
I think you're giving him a little credit there on his age, but so you're a sober guy, Brendan.
I was 6 years old.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm 46 now. It's 40 years.
You can stop
Wow.
lying about your age handicap.
Handicap.
You're a
This is how not to treat your guest
you're a.
on the
All right,
podcast.
I'd like to treat him as a hostile witness.
That would be par for the course, Jonathan.
Thank you.
That would be par
There
for
we
the
go.
course.
So
Wow.
you're a sober guy. How many
Yes,
years
sir.
sober?
6.
And would you say that golf has played a part in your sobriety? Because I know there are people that are sober that end up with other things that they do to occupy the time that they would have done when they were drinking or using drugs or whatever the vice was.
I'm thinking quite the
used drugs, I
opposite.
just drink.
I'm thinking quite the opposite of everybody goes to the golf course and the truck comes around and says, you want a beer and all this stuff and temptation, or this is where how I used to do
Actually,
it.
so 2 things about that. I've spoken on another podcast about this. I had like, I think it was like 90 days sober. And flew out to California by one of our vendors. We were playing a course, and I was feeling like, oh, this might be the end. That cart's gonna come around. I'm gonna go hit it. And they paired us up with 2 like kind of younger kids, ruffians looking, and we were on the 3rd tee in the par 3, and the drink cart was coming, and I said, oh, this is it. You're done. Like, gosh, I just gave up. I'm almost about to give up, and I just quickly asked the kids, like, hey, started some conversation. What do you do for work? And they said, oh, we run a rehab facility and
No kidding.
And I'm like,
Can we have a meeting real
how
quick?
did you get into that? And they're like, oh, we're kind of in, recovery. And I'm like, holy shit, like. Well, I don't know if you can say
all right.
that.
That's fine.
I'm like, holy cow. Like, I got 90 days in here. That was it. That was the end. They said, we got you, let's go. So that was unbelievable.
Talk about an unbelievable stroke of fate.
Well, that's what,
Unbelievable.
Friends in Recovery, that podcast,
Yes.
they talked about it. They're like, that's a sign. So
Yeah, is that a sign, right?
yeah, that's a sign. So that happened on a golf course. But at first I thought it was going to affect me, because I used to love to play, and I play better after a couple drinks.
As Jonathan
Everybody
drives.
thinks
That's how
they do.
Jonathan drives. Right?
And actually, so golf is 18 holes. Why is it 18? Why is it not 10?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
is it not 20?
Good question.
Because you got 9 going up and 9 coming back. That adds up to 18.
Yes, it does.
Why doesn't it be 10 and
But
10?
why isn't it 10?
Well, that would make sense.
Because there is 18 shots of scotch in like in a fifth, and when they were making up this game in Scotland years and years ago, the guy wanted to have a shot a hole, and he finished the bottle at the
Oh, wow. So it's made for drinking. It was
I
built
guess
on
it was
drinking.
made for drinking.
the
and a
original
bunch of
drinking
Scots,
game.
It's about Scots and Irish guys, so I would have to
Yes.
say,
Isn't
there
that
was drinking.
interesting? Good question and a great answer. Okay, that is the front 9 for us. We are going to take a quick break, and when we return at the turn, we're going to have some rapid fire questions. It's the pressure putts with Brandon. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a minute.
May the mortgage gods smile upon us.
I love thee, Michael of North Suburbia.
And I thee.
I guess you guys are worried about competitive bids. Don't be. Our Fairway Advantage pre-approval is so powerful, you can even compete against cash.
So we will triumph.
I did say we'd get you home.
We are forever indebted to you, my lord.
Honey, you're being weird.
So get started with Elk Mortgage Team today. Call Josh Frias on 603-714-2438 or visit elkmortgageteam.com.
And we are back with Golf is a 4-letter word with Brandon Sheehy. Very, very interesting, even during the break, mentioning that this is a gentleman's game where you actually are
Governing yourself.
Governing yourself. There's no other sports without a referee. You think about hockey or baseball or football. This is we were talking about handicaps and sandbaggers, and those guys get caught, and my father's
How
always-
embarrassing, right?
It's embarrassing. My father's always, said, hey, if you mess up, you mess up. Take your medicine. And
Yeah.
the cheaters. There's a kid I grew up with that got caught cheating, and still to this day,
Cheetah's a cheetah, right?
cheetah's a cheetah. I'll
Yeah.
call a family member up and say, what do you think of this guy? And they'll say, what's the fastest animal in the world?
Right.
So this is the back nine. It's brought to you by Scott's Roofing, leading the roofing industry in quality and customer care. They treat you like family, not my family, more like Brendan's family. They treat you well.
Yeah.
Contact them at 603-505-4455. That's 603-505-4455 for all your roofing needs. Scott's Roofing.
Scott's Roofing. Okay, we have the 10 rapid questions for you. It's called the Pressure Putts, so let's get to it.
Well, before we get to that, we got time. You guys are rushing through this. I have a question for you, Brendan.
Yes, hon.
So I want to know, are you the real Happy Gilmore? So I hear that you are formerly a hockey guy, now golf guy. Is this a story of your life?
A lot of hockey players are golfers. The two seem to go hand in hand.
Are they all angry?
No.
Like happy?
No.
No? This isn't you on the course?
I just couldn't get the ball in the hole. I wanted to, but I just couldn't do it.
That's not all of you all the time?
No, that is not. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we're getting the ball in the hole, right?
Okay, all right. But how did that all come about? Like what?
Golf?
Yeah. If you could tell us the story.
When I
of
was
the Happy Gilmore
when I was a
movie.
kid, after we joined, like 3 years after
Yeah,
we
again,
joined that
starting at 6
course,
years old.
there was a pool, so we were at the pool the first. And then when I was like 8, my father gave me a set of clubs and said, "You're going to learn how to play golf."
You were golfing before hockey?
No,
Okay,
I was
hockey
playing
first.
like hockey with like 5 or 4. Yeah.
What do you think of a real hockey player that doesn't play golf and then all of a sudden says, okay, now I'm going to play golf? Is it like the Happy Gilmore thing where, he's shooting like that?
It's a hard swing to learn. You got to really be athletic. I mean, if you get it when you're a kid, it's pretty easy. Where it's not easy, but it's more fluent.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between and
slap shot.
hockey's the same way about a slap shot and and swinging a club. So the hockey players that I've seen that grow up like never played, 30 years old, they pick up a club.
Yeah.
They seem to be adapt or take it's easier for them than someone that didn't play hockey.
All right.
I've seen a lot of bad swings.
Retired hockey players hit the golf course later, and they're pretty good.
And they're
athletic to begin with,
It
right?
comes natural to them, more natural because they're used to that slap shot and, swing. I don't think they all run at the ball like Happy Gilmore. I don't think that would work
It'd be very entertaining if they all did.
They actually have a TaylorMade is the biggest golf supplier. They make clubs and balls and everything. And they had Rory McIlroy doing a Happy Gilmore. They were doing a commercial shoot, right? I think the commercials due to come out anytime. And he did that Happy Gilmore. He hit one, it went flying, and then he tried it again, and it went off the side of the club, and it hit like the camera.
Okay.
Like a $200, those are expensive cameras, right?
Oops.
So even the best players in the world, I don't think would switch to Happy's type.
So
of
I know
swing.
that you've played in the New Hampshire CANH, the Cigar Association of New Hampshire Golf Tournament, and I know I hear you talking in the lounge all the time. You like to play in tournaments. Is there a format of tournament that you like the best? Whether it's best ball, whether it's a scramble, or if those are the same things, just tell me they're the same things. I'm an idiot.
Best ball and scramble are different, but a lot of people think they're the same because a scramble, all 4 players hit. You go to your ball, you go to the best one, and everybody drops there, and then everybody hits again, and you take the best shot, and everybody hits from there. That's a scramble. A best ball would be if you were playing in a foursome, or usually that's 2-man teams. You usually play in 2-man teams. The lowest score would be the best ball.
Gotcha.
You played the whole hole by yourself.
So what's your favorite format
do you like doing that?
Unless you just would rather play regular golf?
We play best ball or all the time. Like alone. Like if in the New Hampshire Cigar Tournament, that's a scramble. It's fun, but it's not my own. Like so, I like playing my own ball, like my own thing. Even when I'm playing with a partner, he'll say, you know, if I have a putt for birdie and he's got a shorter putt for par, he says, you want me to putt this in so you can really try and go for it or something? No, I'm gonna hit it the same way no matter what. I want to play my own ball.
I feel like
is
most
that because
guys
you're
do.
a good player? You know, you would think the lousy player would want to play best ball because you're going to hit it further than me, and then I don't have to worry about my crappy shot I just took. The better player wants to play his own ball.
Yeah.
The crappy player wants to play best ball. I'm going
The
to tell you
crappy
right now, I
players,
would
like-
want to play best. I would want to play best ball, and you're going to be the opposite of that.
The crappy players, the guys that don't play that often,
Yeah.
like to go out and see someone hit the ball straight or at the hole or something like that.
And wish we could do it.
There's a lot of those tournaments I play in where usually the best player will hit last.
Okay.
So there's a lot that I play in that I hit last.
All right.
And then I'll go play with some of my buddies and something like that, and I'm hitting first.
Is there any whack?
Because the line for really good is like, yo, you're really good, and then I go play with a couple other guys, and they're like, can you pick it up? Like, you're slowing us down. Like you're not as good as us. So the line is very thin.
Is there any wacky play that worst ball? You know, is that such a thing that the foursome hits, and then whoever does the worst, everybody has to go to the worst? Or
I think my brother a couple weeks ago played one of his buddies, and his buddy had to take the worst ball.
Worst ball.
His worst ball. And there's certain games we have when we're out there, so they'll say, when a player hits a bad shot sometimes, not in turn, but they'll say, they'll give them a mulligan or something, hit one. We play a certain way. So
that's cheating, though, mulligan, right?
That's cheating. Yeah,
Yes.
it's cheating. If you can't put that score in.
You can't put it in?
No.
Okay.
So we have some games, when you're out playing, we might play 18 holes, go in, have a, sit down table for a while, a couple guys have the beers, and go out and play another 9 holes or something. And we have something called reverse mulligans, where if you hit it and it's a good shot, the other team can, they might be granted 2 reverse mulligans, a 9.
So people can make
so
up
they
their
can
own
say,
games, but
say
they don't count as scores.
No.
Okay, just
No.
the last fun one.
Yeah,
Come
so-
up with your own rules.
Yeah, so if I hit it close, they might say, hey, reverse mulligan, you got to hit it again.
It's too good.
Oh, you have to hit it.
I have to hit it again.
So you've got to double up on that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to, if I hit it really well and put it close, and the next one I hit over in the sand trap, I got to take the one in the sand trap. They call it a reverse mulligan.
All right, that's fun.
So,
All right,
let's get to the pressure
let's
putts.
have a little bit of fun with Brendan. It's time for Pressure Putts, the segment where we tee up 10 rapid-fire questions and see if our guests can make par. Pressure Putts brought to you by United Compressor and Pump, the experts in industrial compressor and pump installation, maintenance, repairs, and sales. They deliver competent, quick, and incomparable compressor and pump service for commercial and industrial customers in New England. Call United Compressor and Pump today on 603-552-5885. And now, here's today's Pressure Putts.
All right, Brendan, what is the most famous golfer that you've personally played with?
Ian Woosman.
No idea who that
I was
is.
going to say,
He's
does
a
anyone
Scot.
here know who that is?
Huh?
He's a Scottish guy. He's a Scottish guy. He's about, he can't be more than 5'5", and hits the ball a mile.
Pro.
Oh, yeah, he's won the Masters. He's,
Oh, God,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All right,
he's-
this is
Have you
Pressure
ever-
Putts, not
have
an
you ever had a
educational
hole-in-one?
segment.
I have not.
Never.
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 I have.
40 years. 40 years.
Right.
Member of a club. Nope. Brendan.
Hardest hole that you've ever played well?
I've played a lot of the courses that the PGA plays, not while they're playing. I think 18 at Harbor Town was probably the best one I played. That I try and always par the last holes of the best one. Or Doral. I parred Doral, the 18th.
What is the most famous person that's not a professional golfer, but the most famous person you've ever played with?
Ray Bork, maybe.
Good.
Or Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr,
does that
even
count?
better.
There you go.
Favorite golf movie?
Favorite golf movie's got to be The Shack, Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think if I could have majored in Caddyshack in college, I'd have my PhD in that.
Is there anybody dead or alive that you wish you could play with, and why?
Dead or alive that I wish I could play
Yeah.
with? I wish I could play with probably, like, you got to change that question. It'd be probably a dream foursome.
Okay, dream foursome. See how the interviewee...
Yeah.
You got to change it. I got to tell you, you're asking the wrong questions
All right,
there.
there we go.
Like, my
good
dream
foursome.
foursome is always my father and my two brothers, and we play a lot. We play 15 times around. I would like to play with Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and I'd put my father in that.
And you
So
and
you
your
would
father.
play with both of
Yeah.
them.
How good your father compared to you?
He plays 250 rounds a year.
He's better than you.
Nah, depends. We have the OSGR, the official Sheehy golf rankings.
Yeah.
So we come out with rankings every week. My one brother's much better than me. He's a scratch handicap. That means he shoots even par.
All right.
It depends on the,
right.
my father. Sometimes we go out and play in different groups. I'll beat him head to head. If I play in his group with him, I don't.
Yeah.
He
All
beats me. He's
Favorite cigar to smoke while golfing?
you got to have a broadleaf, and the Lagianas have
Lagiana.
they've been fantastic. Like
Gianna Maduro.
Yeah. Even the Connecticut, like
Really?
burns
That's what I'm-
burns
That's what
slow.
I'm smoking right now.
Yes, those
There we go.
on the golf course, like you got the cart going,
Sure.
and the cigars burn quick. The Lagianas have been fantastic on the golf course.
What club gives you the most trouble, and why is it your putter?
Actually, yesterday it was my putter. It's usually my putter or sometimes your driver.
List off 3 essentials that you believe that you absolutely need to have on the golf course.
Cigar clip, rangefinder, and
Cheating.
music.
And
Music.
Final question: boxers, briefs, or commando on the course?
You got to go boxers. You need a little support there. Commando, you don't need to be swinging 2 clubs.
Okay, this show's over. We're fired.
And the good
Well
news
done. You
is tune in
survived.
next week. It may be our last show as a fill-in, so that'll be good, and Craig and Jeanine will come back. But anyway, tell your friends, share, subscribe, let everybody know. The quote of the week is brought to you by United Compressors. Not all industry air compressors and pump companies thrive to provide the same next-day quality service like they do. United Compressors and Pump Services, they're there when you need them. Call 603-552-5885 or online at unitedcompressor.com. Here's the quote. It takes a lot of balls to play like I do. Hurry home, Craig and Jeanine. This made me
I
laugh.
can't wait to hear where they played in Hawaii. There's
Yes.
some great courses out
they play
there.
all over, yeah.
They'll have that. So until next week, may your swing be straight and your ball fly far. May your round be blessed with no worse than par. That's it. Golf is a 4-letter word. See you next time.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.